Going on, AP Gov people? We have video 20 for you today. This is a very important one. I guarantee you will see it on tests. Political action committees and super PACs. Definitely be familiar with political action committees or PACs. It's all over the news. It's all over the AP Gov curriculum. You must know it, and you will when you're done watching this video. All right, so let's start off. What the heck is a PAC? Well, it stands for Political Action Committee. This is a committee that donates money to a candidate and a political party. So this deals with money and campaigns. So how much can PACs or political action committees donate? Well, they could donate $5,000 per candidate per election. Now, that means they could give $5,000 for a primary election and $5,000 for the general election. So they could donate $5,000 to a Republican campaign or $5,000 to a Democrat campaign for a primary. And then if that candidate wins, then they can then go to the general election. And they could also donate $15,000 per party. Now, these are per year. So $5,000 per candidate per year, $15,000 per party per year. Individuals cannot donate more than $5,000 to a single PAC per year. So I could donate money to lots of PACs, but my limit per PAC is $5,000. So there's something with $5,000. It's a very special number when it comes to PACs. So who do PACs donate money to? Well, they give this money to candidates that are favorable to their issues. I talked about this in a recent video. Whether it's PACs or lobbyists, they're really not going to spend time and energy on a candidate that is not favorable or receptive to their views. Now, how are PACs formed? Well, they must be registered with the Federal Election Commission, or the FEC, and this was created in 1976. And it's very strict, the rules that you have to follow in order to register, and all the money must be accounted for. So why are PACs so popular? Well, campaigns are very, very expensive, and they're only getting more expensive as time goes on. For instance, the average cost for a campaign for a member of the House is $1 million. I don't know about you. I don't have $1 million. Most people don't have $1 million that they could just spend on campaigns. So they have to get this money from somewhere. Now, PACs support members of Congress on important committees. So, for example, if you are a labor union PAC, you will support somebody that is on a very important committee that relates to your PAC. And PACs often help offset campaign costs. So what are some examples of PACs? Well, you have the National Association of Realtors. Look at the house. That's a nice house. You have the Airline Pilots Association. You have the National Rifle Association. And there are literally tens of thousands of more PACs. And each of the above has donated millions of dollars in past elections to different candidates, to political parties, you name it. So let's talk about the influence of PACs. Do PACs buy legislation? So in other words, can a PAC help influence or buy a certain law that is favorable to them? Well, we know legally, no, they can't do this. However, again, PACs tend to support candidates that are receptive to their views. So they're going to spend money on somebody who already kind of agrees with them, or at least willing to listen to their view. Many people complain that PACs have too much influence, especially super PACs, which we'll talk about in a moment. And look no further than the presidential election of 2016. One thing that Bernie Sanders is really campaigning on is this idea that business interests spend too much money in campaigns. So where are PACs most influential? Well, House elections in particular, and presidential elections are too expensive for a single PAC to have really any influence. But that doesn't mean that PACs in general aren't influential. Again, there are tens of thousands of PACs. So even for presidential elections, PACs do donate quite a bit of money, but it's hard for a single PAC to have too much influence because of that $5,000 limit. Now, PACs are guaranteed to be on your AP Gov exam. I don't think you'll see super PACs because this is a relatively new thing, but at least you know what people are talking about when you hear this term. So what are they? They were created in 2010 out of the Supreme Court case Citizens United. And they are different from a PAC because they cannot be associated with a particular political candidate. Therefore, they have unlimited spending here and unlimited donations. I could donate as much money as I want to a super PAC. So what is the controversy over super PACs? Well, some argue there's too much money and influence in campaigns because there is not a spending limit to super PACs. And when people talk about campaign finance reform, and again, you hear it especially in the election of 2016, the presidential election, it's usually these super PACs that they're talking about. All right, so let's finish up with some test tips for multiple choice. Definitely know the purpose of PACs. I guarantee you'll see it. Free response questions, ways interest groups influence elections. You saw that in 2012, and it could be through the use of PACs. All right, guys, I will see you back here for video number 21. We're jumping over to the news media. We're going to get into the functions and structure of the news media. Thank you guys very much for watching. Best of luck in May, and have a good day.